Hello, welcome to Packman Paranormal. I'm Ernie Pack.
Denise Pack, and I just want to point out Stacy was first. He's already made
Stacy
sure.
was first.
He's already made sure to
There he
tell
was.
us that.
And Wild Bill's in the house.
Oh,
Kaylee's here, and nobody else. That's it. That's all the friends we got. No, that's all the friends we got. We got three friends. That's it. Anyway, welcome back.
Why does our heads look so big? Why is the angle so much different?
You have a big head.
Let's hold that big brain.
Yeah. Well, anyway, there's Big Daddy Andy. We have got a good friend on tonight. She has been here at the house before. She has hung out with us and still talks
she
to
still
us.
comes back. I'm surprised.
It's so yeah, we're very fortunate. But no, we've got the one and only ParaGypsy, Miss Christie Ayers, coming on. And she's on the road.
Are you going to keep talking about her? Or are you just going to go ahead and bring her up here? So that
you always do this.
Because you talk too long.
Well, I was trying to give a proper introduction. I'm going to bring her on. Hi, Christy. I was going to give you a nice introduction, but somebody didn't let me. There's Beth.
I just find it funny that you were like, she still talks to us, even though she's been over here. I'm like, I feel the same way about me.
You're
like, you gotta get one shot, and then people are just like, I'm done with her.
Well, you've actually came and stayed at our house, and you still talk to us.
Yeah.
The bed's comfortable.
And we got different beds since you've been here.
Yeah, they're even more comfortable now.
And you have that one weird doll.
Yeah, we do have the weird doll. She's in the nursery now.
Yeah. Which
that still freaks me out.
Dolls in the house now.
I'm just like, how do you end up with the same exact antique doll though? That's so random.
It's meant to be.
There's a whole lot of weird synchronicities that have happened since we've been here.
There's Eric. He's
always around.
Hello.
Jenny Davis is in the house.
I put Jenny
Everybody
up there for a minute. You were talking, but I did put Jenny up there for a minute.
What? Okay. Anyway, for those of you who do not know, this is Christie Ayers. She's known as the ParaGypsy. And what else is she doing but sitting in her car on the road from one haunted location to another? That's what she does. You host events all over. You attend events all over. You speak at events all over. Talk a little bit about that.
I was just like, why don't you let her tell it?
Like, I know I never sleep. I'm so tired. So it's raining, which is, I'm actually kind of enjoying this. I'm like, yay. Now's the time for me to shower. However,
get you a bar of soap out of the glove box and stand out there and have at it.
I always have one in the back. No. Well, I just left Pot of Grass, which is at the Palmer House in Minnesota. I'm a big supporter of them. I have spoke at some of their things before. I actually went to this one as like a ticket holder. And it was mainly because so many people have asked me to investigate with them at the Palmer House. So I was like, well, if I go, then maybe people will buy tickets. I think a couple were bought from that. When I say a couple, I mean like maybe 2 or 3. So I know for sure there was one guy there that has been wanting me to be there. So I was really happy to see him. But it was a great event. They raised a bunch of money for their cause. It was a lot of fun. Great weekend. And now I'm hightailing it to North Carolina because I have a bunch of film stuff to do. So there will be haunted locations that we go to, I think, in the next couple of days. But we have some like really cool stuff we're going to be doing. I can't release information on a lot of that right now, but there are going to be events like, I think it's going to just change things quite a bit. So I'm really excited for that, and I can't wait to release the first ones. We have some of it kind of locked down, but we'll have a whole schedule once I get out there. So,
awesome.
But yeah, that's my life. That's great.
Yeah.
And you'll be making your way back this way at some point.
Yes, I am going to be there August 17th. So the 16th, the day before, I'm going to do candlelight tours, which are always a lot of fun. They don't cost a lot. They're more history based, but I think in your area we'll get a lot of good like paranormal stuff in there too. We do like a little mini investigation. The tours typically cost $20, so you do a little walk and history, and you get to investigate in certain places. Those are always a lot of fun. I love doing them. And that is actually on my birthday.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yes. And then the next day we'll be at Fort Duffield I just think it's perfect. Like the ParaGypsy doing a campfire and making some more and telling ghost stories and Bigfoot stories. And first time I ever went looking for Bigfoot was with you guys out at Fort Duffield. So
Yeah.
We had one actually howl at us when we were leaving that night, didn't we?
Yeah.
I believe so. And I was like, they're doing it because I said I don't know if I believe in them. So
They waited
here
till
we go.
were like, the coast is clear.
Yeah.
It was a fun new experience, and I'm like, I kind of want to do it again. So I'm happy that I'm coming out there because it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. We do events very similar to what you're going to be having 2 or 3 times a year at least. And we always say, we're going to do a cookout, we're going to do a campfire, we're going to tell stories around the campfire, and then we're going to investigate.
Or if anybody wants to investigate while we're telling those stories, they don't have to stay with us. They can go out and investigate.
Everybody usually stays there at the campfire, and they're like, "No, just tell us some more. Tell us some more."
Right, like,
So
don't you
be
want to go out
prepared
and
for
do
that.
anything?
That's the scary part, right? I'm like, what if I run out of? Oh wait, never mind. I never run out of anything to say.
Right? Yeah,
we've got stories for days. So
yeah.
I'll just be like, Tim, it's your turn.
There you go.
Yeah, let me tell you about T-Dog telling stories. We're like, yeah, come on.
He's kind of quiet, but
It's
he
kinda
can get
fun.
going, and he's got some good ones because the
Yeah.
guy's been everywhere, and
Yeah.
he's just a lot of fun to be around.
I just
But,
want to say, between the bear and T-Dog, I'm picking T-Dog.
There you go.
I'll pick T-Dog too. I don't know that I'd pick you, but I'd pick T-Dog.
That's because he's usually already chained up.
This is true. T-Dog's usually always checked.
Well, look at
I hope he's watching right now.
that. Isn't he at Trans Allegheny
He
or
is.
on his way to Trans
He's
Allegheny?
got something with Trans Allegheny on it right now. I think he's actually there tonight.
Yeah, he might be chained up at Trans Allegheny.
I thought they did it yesterday. Maybe
Maybe he's sleeping today. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's hard to keep up with
I
all
don't
you
know.
guys.
Y'all travel too much.
it's
We-
never too much. It is.
We do
never
a lot
too much.
ourselves.
Yeah, we
to
do
be
enough
honest.
of our own.
But no, we are excited to have you coming back, and I know we took you up to the fort, and you did a little live while we were up there, and we're trying to get some communication while you were there. But the fort has been, for everybody that's been there for an investigation, they have had something happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't recall if that night, if you got anything
Well,
in
the
particular
the
while we were
Bigfoot
there
house,
besides
we
the
really-
I do remember seeing like a shadow come from behind the tree. And I tried to go back and look for it, but unfortunately, because just the location, it's really hard to light it up.
Yeah.
And so the graininess of it and whatever, I couldn't see it. I couldn't, whatever. But that happens sometimes, but I saw it. And honestly, for me, that's good enough. I do think that some of the people that were watching also saw it. So that's even better,
Yeah. Yeah,
I like doing those lives. I like doing them when it's by myself a lot because then people know that obviously I'm holding the camera, so they know where I'm at. So if something happens in front of me, like it's kind of it takes out the whole, well, it could have been this, could have been that. So
Yeah, we tried to stay out of your way some that night because we didn't want to be in your live. We were like, go over, see what you can catch.
We went the opposite direction, so we stayed off camera. But,
I really find that place very fascinating. I think what sometimes I think people get kind of discouraged when you say that it's outside, because I think they're thinking that, oh, you're just walking around some cemetery, blah, 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 blah. But, to me, it kind of reminds me of Bachelor's Grove where you're in a state park. There's nobody coming by. There's no headlights coming by. You do get a little bit of noise pollution, but it's not terrible. you know.
And, even then with the noise pollution at a certain time, you know, the city kind of quiets down. I mean, not that West Point's a big city anyway, but you can have it all night long. So at some point you can have that silence and you actually rent it out for a private overnight.
Yeah.
I remember sitting up at the monument part, and we're just kind of sitting there, and I was like, oh, it's like totally quiet. It got very quiet, and it was really peaceful that night. So I mean, that's my cup of tea right there. So
we go up there sometimes just to
de-stress.
Yeah. Well, and
because it is so peaceful.
Especially like on the nights like we were expected meteor showers or something. We'll go up there and lay on that bench over near the monument and just lay there and look at the star. We'll take a pillow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Northern Lights then? Did they come down near you?
They didn't get this far. We went out. We went out back.
Sure, you like one picture.
With the night view on my phone, I was able to get one picture of kind of a pink discoloration in one part of the sky, but
it was.
I was disappointed because
everybody
else was posting these amazing pictures, and we were like, yeah, well.
You know what? I got some like at the beginning of it, and then I was like, it seemed to kind of like die off a little, and I'm like with my daughter, and we're both tired, and it's getting cold out, and we're like, okay, time to go to bed. And then I wake up, and I was like, damn it, we should have stayed. But I think we both had to get up like super early the next day anyway. I hate being old. What is this? I want to like not sleep. Oh wait, I did that last night.
I don't sleep, but it's not out of choice, and I regret it every day. I'm always tired.
I know the feeling.
You did get to stay at our house, like I mentioned, though, and you got to hear some commotion before you left that morning, and you sent me a message and said, I don't know if anybody's here, but I heard something going on in the dining room, and I walked in there and didn't see anything, and then I got home like 5 minutes after you had left, and that cabinet, that built-in, was standing open. And that is not an easy cabinet to open.
Yeah, that was so strange because like I heard somebody in the kitchen, and I came down. When I came down and I heard it, I was like, Denise, because I thought it was you, because I had remembered you said you had to go somewhere, and so like I go look in the kitchen, and then I didn't see anybody, and I was like, oh, maybe Ernie just went outside. So I'm just like putting on my shoes, and I hear it again, and I go in there, and I'm like, he's still not in here. And then I look outside, and he's not outside. And I'm like, where's Ernie? You know, and I obviously don't want to come look in your bedroom, but
Right.
So then I messaged you. I think you were still upstairs sleeping because you were pretty sick.
Yeah.
And so that was just kind of crazy. So yeah, then I messaged you, and it was kind of cool to get that message back, like, hey, look at this cabinet open, because that's what it sounded like, was like doors opening. And I actually thought it was the back door, which is why I thought maybe Ernie was going outside or what. I was so confusing.
A dog out or something.
Yeah, I forgot you got sick that night. Was it sinuses or something? I can't remember what you were sick with.
I forget because
my face.
It was. I was sick of Christie. That's what it was. I was sick of Christie. But no, we. I don't know. We were happy to have you stop by. You had been at an event down at. Was it Harriman Hospital? Something like that.
Octagon. You were going by Octagon, I believe.
Yes, I think that was the first weekend we did the event at Octagon Hall. See, that one sold out. I'm like, why isn't this one?
Well, everybody's having issues with selling their events right now. We've been talking to a lot of people because, you know, we're a new location. It's hard to get a new location out anyway. And it does get frustrating when you feel like you're doing everything you can and you're just not selling. But then everybody that's established that we've seen Waverly Hills advertising that they still have tickets left. Waverly Hills never has tickets left.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's tough everywhere.
It's everywhere.
But. Yeah, it is. And I see that. I mean, my ticket sales are still, I mean, they're not doing terrible. But it's still like, I'm always a nervous wreck. I'm like, because you have to pay for the locations and you have expenses that go into all that. And, you know, there's so many times that I do and I'm breaking even. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Most of the time, I'm okay with that.
Right.
You know, that's fine for me. Because I just love doing it and I enjoy doing it so much. And, you know, I make money other ways. I'm just one of those people. But I still want them to sell out so I can stop doing the other ways.
Yeah. Well, I think, none of us are in it to get rich, but all of us hope to have a little something out of it, because it's a lot of time and effort. Because like if we do an overnight at the fort, the way the pricing is, the city gets a huge chunk, but we get some money too. You know why? Because we have to do all the booking. We run the website. We have to pay for monthly insurance, and he has to sit up there for 12 hours. Even if he doesn't investigate with anybody, if they're there the entire 12 hours, he has to just sit in his truck, because we have to be a member of Packman Paranormal, which we are. Packman Paranormal has to be on site. That's part of the contract. So we deserve to make something out of that. But so far, every event we've had, we give 100% to most of the people that have come to help us. We give them gas money because we think it's only right. They've spent their time to come up there, but then they don't want any more than their gas money, and everything's going back into the location. We give it all to the city because we don't want to take out of their pocket, because the main reason is to make money for the location.
And already made some great changes up there with the money that we've raised in Duffield. I mean, there's a new pavilion up there that we had a big hand in raising the money to get that going, and just the fact that we're doing events up there spurred the volunteer group to do additional improvements and make some changes up there.
It because there was extra traffic coming back to the fort, it boosted the city to get a grant they'd been trying to get that they couldn't justify getting. Well, the extra traffic spurred the grant money to make the road, to pave the road going back to the fort.
Yeah, I don't know. When you were here, that road hadn't been paved yet, had it?
No, it hasn't. I do remember seeing like the pavilion, and like you guys were getting ready to do all that stuff. So it'll be awesome to come back and see, because if you've done all that since I was there last time, it wasn't that long ago. It'll be exciting to see what's actually done when I do get there. And I'm glad you're talking about like the cost of things, because I always talk about this on shows, because honestly, I'm going to be kind of a jerk here, but I'm really sick and tired of hearing people say people are lining their pockets. And I'm like, trust me, like so many people who are doing this. I started doing the ParaGypsy events because I worked for one of the bigger companies. And in working for one of the bigger companies, I watched them take advantage of locations. I watched them like overbook locations. They would back out. I mean, they were just costing the locations more money. And so I was like, this has to change. And so I started doing events on my own, and they get a much bigger cut than they did. I will say that some locations won't take it. I give them my offer, but then they're like, you know what, this is all I'm going to take from you. And I appreciate that. I do. But I keep the events smaller because I want the locations respected. If there's an issue, I want to have the ability to kick somebody out, and I will. I've kicked people out for being drunk. I've kicked people out. I had people just smoking pot in a museum, and I'm like, what do you like? Yeah. What is that ever okay?
Yeah, that's in our stipulations up there. No drugs, no alcohol,
no mention of demons,
no demon talk. I mean, we've got all that. We tried to cover all of our bases when putting that in there, because it's ridiculous the things you've got to deal with.
It is. And I actually had a talk with a friend of mine today talking about, I have never actually had one of those events where somebody just starts going crazy saying they're possessed, blah blah blah. However, if that did happen, I'd be like, you gotta go, because I don't run it like that. I think that can be dangerous for a lot of reasons. It can scare people when you shouldn't be scaring people. So I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I won't allow it. It's not what we're meant to do, plain and simple. So
exactly, Jen. That's why everybody wants to scream demon. We actually had, we won't mention any names because that's not what we're about, but we had a YouTuber contact us, which they've got enough of a following that it might have got us on the map a little bit. But we are more about the integrity of the location than we are about the clicks. I mean, help, get the fort on the map, but for the wrong reasons. And we mentioned to them, we had the stipulation that there would be no demon talk. Mention demons, the way it's written in our thing is, if you mention demons, you will be removed from the property. And if it comes up in the future on your YouTube or whatever, you will be sued. And he actually said, well, that gets clicks. We said, we don't care. Well, that was the last conversation we had with him.
Yeah.
He wasn't interested.
He was all interested in booking the place till we told him.
And this same person has burnt bridges with 2 or 3 other locations in our area because the location owners, we talk. And he pulled the same thing with a couple others that have the same. We've all started putting those stipulations about the demons into our
I'm like, I'm pretty sure I know exactly who that is. So,
well,
and that's the thing. I do have, because I have connections to certain locations. I do get, there's a couple of locations that I'm allowed in that they're more difficult to get into. And so I will get reached out. A lot of people, shouldn't say a lot of people, but those kind of people will reach out to me, how do I get in there? And I'm like, you don't. That is what I will just tell. I'm like, I'm not going to give you any way to contact these people. I'm just like, no, you just don't. They don't want it. They don't need it. That's the end of it. So,
yeah.
Right.
I mean, and it's a shame that it's come down to that. I mean, you mentioned that you don't, at your events, you don't allow someone to come off with that kind of thing and everything. Now, I will say we have, as guides at Waverly Hills and at ourselves even, you can be affected by the spirit energy.
And we have seen that a couple of times.
We've seen
that we
it
thought
happen.
that it might have actually been demonic. We've actually had that happen a couple of times, but for the numerous amount of years that I've been doing this, maybe a handful of times, not every location every
yeah. Time. Well, there are certain people that I see their name and I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. There's some people where I'm like, I just refund the ticket because I know better at this point. One thing that I had to quit doing at events too, believe it or not, was the Estes method. We do it still, but we do it in a different way because I do allow kids 16 and 17 until the 2 a.m. I don't allow overnights with the kids, but they also have to be there with the parent, right?
Right.
I have now had several times where I've had the kids, the 16, 17-year-old kids doing Estes, and they use that as a way to say derogatory, horrible things. And the parents will just laugh and be like, oh, that's the ghost saying it. And I'm like, first of all, it's not. And second of all, even if it was, it doesn't mean it needs to come out of her mouth, Right. And so I finally got tired because it was either that or like a lot of times when I have adults do it, it's all about how they're being molested. I'm like,
right.
I'm done. So now we do it in a way where I take the group and I think the results are even more incredible. But if we have, I never have more than 30 people. So we'll split the group in half. One goes off somewhere. The other one goes off somewhere else. One group asks questions and the other group is only taking down what they're hearing out of the spirit box. So just the answers. And then after like 45 minutes, we come together and compare the two. Some of the results that have happened, have caused people like tears, like that's my grandpa, or that's, it's really hard to dispute that because these people don't even know each other up until the moment they walk in the door. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm just going to check the radar real quick to see if you're going to get blown away by a tomato.
Nope, that already happened in Omaha.
Oh yeah,
that was scary. Well, because I was in Tombstone. I was at the Tombstone Paracon when those tornadoes hit. I think 5 tornadoes hit in Omaha. One of them hit a mile from. It gives me a thumbs up.
Yeah, I don't even know why that does it. It just put a thumbs up over her head.
I'm wondering if you have to.
It did that to one of our guests last week.
Yeah,
and
Craig Owens.
We didn't know how it was
we were like, I didn't do that. What happened?
But yeah,
you're north of Indianapolis. You're near Lafayette, Indiana, right now.
How do you know where she's at?
Because I'm looking at the radar and I see where the tornado's at.
No, but so that one really big tornado, like that EF5 or whatever it is, hit a mile from my son's work.
Wow.
And then 2 others hit less than a half mile from my daughter's house. So she's like 1-year-old baby on her back up underneath the house. And I'm like, go to the neighbors. And here I am in Tombstone. And then I think I was talking to my daughter and her phone just gone.
Oh, man.
And so then I'm freaking out. Finally, I got her back on the phone. She's like, I just went inside and the reception went out for a minute. And I think it took me like 20 minutes to get through to my son because all his work phones everything went out there except the landline phone at his work. So that was, I'm just like, I just didn't need that ever.
I know. I have my kids, most of my daughters, because I got them scattered everywhere, but most of my kids are in the Hendersonville, Goodlettsville, Tennessee area. And the last time they had a bunch go through there, I couldn't get a hold of anybody. And I was like, you all do realize your mother's having a heart attack right now. Can somebody please answer me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's hard because like I'm thinking you want them to answer you, but at the same time, who knows what they're dealing with that in the moment,
There's Howard.
You can't. You want to save kids forever and you can't.
I know, exactly. Howard Petrie's on here. We ain't seen Howard for Howard.
I know.
We tried to call you
left
the other
him a
day.
message the other day and he didn't call me back. We're going to fight.
Just block him now.
I'm
You're
driving
banned.
to New Orleans just to fight Howard.
Exactly, Jen. I was like, do something to let me know you're okay. I mean, it's like, and then they always like I saw that. If you need
This
to
is gonna be
go,
great.
this might actually get us to
See the funnel cloud behind her? Look.
we might get
Oh,
some.
look at that. Oh yeah, look, it's coming at me. I'm done. I'm just like
Doing a television. You're getting rich and famous, Howard. You better be sending some of that money this way.
Yeah.
there's the thunder. I'm just like you guys. I have like super paranormal powers, and I've been making it lightning.
Yeah. Yeah. See what you get to look forward to
Well,
at a ParaGypsy event.
If you see some funnel cloud coming at you, you don't owe us an explanation, Christy.
Yeah,
if you
just
just
go.
disappear, we'll understand.
Then you'll just be like, we were really kind of disappointed in you for just leaving.
We wanted to see what happened. We wanted to watch you get swept up into the
What?
swept.
I mean,
up.
I could just cut the power.
Howard said, yeah, I've known that to happen a time or two around here.
It's amazing.
I had to say it. I had to say it.
It happens at the most convenient times sometimes too.
Yep. You're near Kokomo, Indiana.
That's what happens when you live in a haunted house.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jen said
Twisters Part
Which
5.
is part 5.
Yeah.
No thanks. Actually, it would be kind of funny if a cow was just in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've got cows.
if a cow blows by, I'm going to be.
And
really...
this is how Wendy's gets their meat delivered.
Yeah. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, she's sitting in a Wendy's parking lot.
I don't. Oh, there it is.
Nice enough to join us from the road
in a Wendy's
in a Wendy's parking lot, and she didn't bring us a Frosty though, which is bullshit.
I'm like,
they've got the Dreamsicle Frosties.
They do have the Dreamsicle Frosty. I
don't even need that. I just don't.
I had one the other night.
I might go get one now after that.
So good. So good.
Stop being bad influences on me. I'm going to blame it. I had a Frosty because I was possessed by the demons.
Denise and Demon sound a lot alike.
Hey,
I feel like there looks like there's a demon back there on the mantle. Yes, there it is. You're pointing at the demon. Yep, over there. Oh, there you go. There you go.
That's an Easter egg. That was an Easter egg for people to find. We're gonna start putting some kind of Easter egg back behind us every show.
There might be a naked Ernie or something back here.
No, we're not gonna put a naked Ernie back there. We don't make any money off this show.
That's for the window anyway.
That's right. From the window to the wall. Never mind. Leave it alone. You'll be singing.
You know, one of those little things that the wind blows and they spin. We're gonna put Ernie at the window.
The pinwheel.
No. No.
It'll spin after he eats tacos.
Well, there's that. So.
You gonna change the subject now?
Yeah, I've got to because you two are gonna go down.
Our minds are already.
I haven't heard this story because I'm sure there's
no. This is going to get off the rails.
Christy would probably like to hear that story again.
Which story? Oh, the window story.
Yeah, the window story.
We don't need to talk about that.
Do you want to hear a really good window story?
Let's hear a window story.
This is by far one of the best things I've ever done, and I'm so disappointed that I wasn't filming it. But I was doing a investigation at Farrar out in Iowa, and it was me and 2 other people, and we're up on the 3rd floor, and I think it was like just teenagers, so like a girlfriend and boyfriend, and the boy like just they didn't know anybody was in there, so they broke in, and the boy like threw the girlfriend in there and then ran off, like shut her in, and so she's screaming and running out, and they get out to the car, and then they're just sitting there, and I'm like watching them from the 3rd floor window, and I'm like, they don't know anybody's here. I'm like, and they're not leaving. I'm like, I just want them to like go, So I took my flashlight just right in the window. And I have never seen a car peel out of a parking lot so fast. I guarantee you there's like this urban legend now out there.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the ghost lady in the window? She was hideous.
How about when we were out squatching and the kids making out on the lake?
There's a place where we go. It's an undisclosed location in southern Indiana that we go squatching a lot. And there's a lake there that looks like Crystal Lake. I mean, they need to film Jason walking up out of this lake.
It is literally foggy at night.
It is creepy.
That's awesome.
But anyway, as you're driving to it, there's a part you go across the little bridge. Like, what's that?
Jen wants you to have a Paranormal OnlyFans.
No, Jen. No. Anyway, you got to go across the little bridge over one end of the lake to get around to where we have a lot of squatch activity.
Basically a big circle, but
it goes around.
By the time you're over here, the other side's way like over there. It's miles.
Not miles.
It's miles around, but
it's miles to drive. But I mean,
but you can see right across to the other side.
So anyway, as we're going out there, we see this pickup truck parked over, and it's like 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's obvious that they're up to no good.
When we drive by, you see this female head pop up from down below the window level. She pops up, and the guy's sitting there looking at us, and we go on by. We get around there to where we're going to do our squatching at, and we weren't having any activity.
He decided to do
and I asked Squatchman, I said, you mind if I do a whoop? I know we don't normally do these, but do you mind if I do a whoop? And he's like, oh, may as well. It might get something. I don't know. And so I just went.
We're already whooping.
So I let out a big loud whoop, and it goes across that lake, and you see headlights come on.
You hear tires.
You hear tires out of that parking lot.
That is amazing.
They were gone. It was great.
What if every paranormal experience or Bigfoot experience or aliens we've ever had has been someone goofing off like that?
Well, I know for a fact that what happens here is not. And some of the things that we've encountered, I know they're not. But I'm sure there's plenty of them that
are.
We're just the butt of somebody's joke somewhere, I'm sure there's plenty of that happens too.
You're always the butt of somebody's joke.
Usually yours, asshole. But anyway, what were we talking about?
I like
We were going to talk about something serious because I'm very serious.
Christie, I remember Christie was in the van at one point and you got out to unlock the gate and she leans over. She said, I just love how you say things just to get at him because she can tell I just poke your buttons.
The best part though is he acts like he doesn't like it, but it's so obvious that he does.
Really? Is it really?
Yeah, it is. See, like right there, you need.
I have a good poker face. That's all I can say. That's all
I leave him speechless most days. He just don't know what to say or how to handle it.
Because I'm nice. Because I know what to say.
Because Denise is funny as shit.
Yeah, she knows I'm funny with shit. She knows I'm funny.
She'll say some stuff and I'm like, where the hell did that come from? That's okay.
You're muffled. Did you cover up your mic?
Probably. Is that better?
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. The joys of not.
You're like,
I look better further away. I look cleaner.
Yeah, we can't smell you from back there.
Thank God.
Thank God, folks, you all are lucky this is not smell-o-vision. I'm just saying. She hasn't bathed since the freaking bird cage. Okay.
That would have been like
Wait a
back
minute.
in Tombstone in October. Oh boy.
I
did
see
not
your shirt
know
there, and I'm
that.
jealous. That's one of my dream locations to go to is the bird cage.
I absolutely love it. I love Tombstone. I love going there. I've been there several times now, and I have plans to go back again. And now it looks like there is a place in Bisbee that wants me to come and do events there. So I'll be working on that. It's the Copper Queen Hotel, I believe. The people who own it are fantastic. This girl, she's amazing. I want to say she's 26 years old, and she was an addict. Well, I guess you're always an addict, but she basically bought the hotel to give herself something to do to get sober. And so she bought this hotel. I think she was 24 when she bought it, and it's been doing well and up and running. And she's just, you would never know that she had an addiction problem. Just phenomenal human being. So, yeah. So I'm like all about supporting that.
Yes, absolutely.
Us too. We've dealt with, or I've dealt with that in my life with, people very close to me. So it's always a good time whenever you see somebody pull up out of that and make something.
Make a comeback.
Yes, because it's hard. It's so hard. So many people lose that battle every day. So when somebody, is winning it, I will do everything I can to keep their head above water and keep them there. So
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, we feel the same way.
Yep.
Let's not get all down. We're fun and happy. No, that's a positive story, but I mean, it just it makes you it's real too at the same time,
Right.
It is. Well, that's the thing about the paranormal field that I found I love so much is I can't tell you how many deep, meaningful connections and conversations I've had with strangers in dark, creepy basements.
Yeah.
Right.
How did I get here? And somebody's now crying on my shoulder. I don't know, but I'm good with it.
Yeah.
And then I say something dumb and we all laugh and have a good time.
Yeah.
That seems how like a lot of our events and places we go, like we leave everywhere we go, we leave with family, basically. It's like,
yeah, or you at least make a connection that's like, I don't want to get all new age or anything, but I think that, you bring the right energy. And if you can pick up on other people who have the right energy, you're drawn to them. And those connections happen a lot easier than out in the business world or, going to a ball game or whatever.
well,
You know what I'm saying?
most of the time we're in vulnerable positions too. I mean, even though, we're all paranormal investigators, we're not necessarily afraid. We're still in very vulnerable situations. We don't know what we're up against.
Walking around in the dark.
We don't know what we're going to encounter. And there's some very real possibilities too. Squatters, homeless people, vagrants,
Spiders,
people breaking in,
breaking in, dangerous, fall hazards and spiders.
Yeah.
Go spiders.
But we form connections fast because if something happens to somebody, whether it be something physical or spiritual, we're there for each other right away. Like you can meet somebody right before the investigation and then you've got a connection.
Yep, absolutely. And our circle of friends now
keeps getting bigger and
keeps getting bigger, but it's, and it's no offense to my friends that I've had in the past before I, got so involved with the paranormal, but every friend I've got right now, I met doing this,
us.
We came together because of this, the paranormal.
And you still don't have regrets, Denise?
Denise?
Yeah.
You're asking her?
That us ladies really got to stick together
to
more. I feel like us ladies don't stick together enough.
Yeah, Jody, my sister just popped in here. Snakes. Yes, Jody, I'm afraid of snakes. Jody don't like snakes.
Yeah, and you never know, you might find one.
I don't know if that was a sexual innuendo or what that was.
He looked a little too mean for it to be that. that was the look of you're gonna get it.
You never know. You never know.
No. That's funny.
And
oh my goodness.
anyway, what else were we? We were talking about something else, and then you all started YouTube.
We were talking about the great human connection, actually, and that's what when I do speak, that's what I speak about is restoring the great human connection that I feel like we've lost. It's hard. Like I can't, express enough like how important it is. You go ghost hunting, and I see all these people all the time, and they come in and they're trying to connect with somebody who's long past that they didn't know, and that they want to hear their stories and blah 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 and all this, and the whole time somebody that they love is sitting right there being completely ignored, that's still living. So I always tell people, like, ghost hunting is great. It's great for that, the spiritual aspect, and I love doing it. However, pay attention to the people next to you while you still can. Help them now. Don't wait till they're dead and some stranger has to come and help them feel better. Like, that's just seems kind of stupid, but
I think Eric has missed one of our shows. He says he's been loving our shows for nearly loving Ernie and Denise for nearly.
He said me first. He said me first.
That's just because he hasn't met you in person.
He said me first.
But Eric, I don't think has missed hardly any shows.
No, he's always here. He's always here because I'm awesome. Because of me, mostly, Eric. Right? You can say it in the chat. It'll be okay.
Why don't you just ask him right now? Who do you love more, Eric, Ernie, or Denise?
Yeah,
Eric, it's okay.
It's okay to tell the truth.
Maybe it's going to be Greg back there.
It might be. Look at that sexy picture back there. I mean,
I just feel like you should. I really feel like you need to put some biscuits with him back there.
They wouldn't make it back there. He'd be sitting here eating while he was doing the show.
I mean, them fake biscuits down at Old Stone Jail, they're always tempting. Every time we're there.
What's so funny is I did not know that the whole thing about the biscuits, like, and being those biscuits, when we took that picture, I had no idea. I was like, that is hilarious.
That's where we did that photo shoot where, she's doing the Bonnie thing where she's holding the pan away from me, and I'm like reaching for a biscuit. It was in the kitchen at Old Stone Jail where we did that photo shoot. But
I was like, that's just crazy that I was like, oh, look, it's Ernie's biscuit. No idea.
It really was.
We went to Wynwood in
Tennessee.
What was it? Castilian Springs?
Yeah, it's right by Castilian Springs.
It's in Tennessee, but we went down there for one of the Halloween tours with Todd and Leanne just for something fun to do. It wasn't an investigation or anything. It was just like a public thing. And we walk in and there's like biscuits and they're roped off.
Yeah, they had one of them, velvet ropes where you couldn't get to them. I'm like,
that's evil.
This is a torture chamber.
And then we go.
You have brought me to a torture chamber.
Then we go into the next room and they're talking about morning biscuits. And Ernie's
how they used to give out morning biscuits, at the wake and stuff. And they just kept having the story about the morning biscuits. And they had this little fake package on the plate in front of everybody. And the woman kept talking. And I'm like, can I get the biscuit? And she's like, oh, there's not really a biscuit in there. That's just an example of how they were presented. I'm like, you've been building up this whole story.
Let's just go back.
Biscuits.
Let's just go back to the idea that when did they stop handing out biscuits at funerals?
How about biscuits at yours?
And how did that even become a thing?
I don't know, but do you know about morning biscuits? You know that was a thing?
No, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. It's so weird.
Look it up. Yes.
I mean, if they're stale, could it be like communion biscuits? I don't know. But I don't know.
Then he visits the gift shop and finds a bag.
They had a bag of flour for the biscuits.
It was biscuit mix. And then he got a candle that was a biscuit candle.
Yeah, buttered biscuit.
Butter biscuits.
That he's been mourning ever since.
Yeah.
It's like, no matter.
They were trying to kill me.
No matter where we go or what the situation, he will find a biscuit.
We were in Gettysburg, right across from the Farnsworth. The next time any of you all are in Gettysburg, right across the street from the Farnsworth, there's a telephone pole that around the telephone pole apparently had been hit by a car some years back, and they had to replace the concrete around that telephone pole. I'm walking down the street at Gettysburg like, oh, this is beautiful. There's the Farnsworth. There's Jenny Wade's house right up the street over there. And I look down and I see biscuit written in that concrete by the telephone pole. I'm like, the universe has spoken. I'm meant to be here.
I have a picture of him nailed back, pointing and smiling.
Yeah, like
I can't even just eat a biscuit. I have to have gluten-free biscuits. Okay, it's horrendous.
That's a sad story. It's all I can tell you.
It is a sad story.
That's like the worst thing that I've encountered in the paranormal in a while. Someone who can't eat biscuits.
I'm just saying that every time I go to a restaurant, I feel like I am like gluten-free and I need a special diet. As somebody who waited tables for a long time, I can tell you that's the most annoying thing to ever come out of my mouth.
Yeah, I believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that.
So you've got some events coming up at Octagon. Speaking of all these places in Franklin, Kentucky,
Let's hear what you got coming.
Octagon Hall is with me and Tim are doing that, and my friend Stacy is coming. So I'm going to explain Stacy for a minute, because you're going to see her with me a lot lately. She's amazing. I randomly met her at an event, but she is affiliated with the Conjuring films. She played It in some of the scenes, or played Pennywise in some of the scenes in It. So basically, the sewer scene where Pennywise has blue eyes, that's Stacy. She has worked on just countless horror films, like the entire horror franchise. She's had a hand in. She's an amazing person. We're probably going to be doing a charity event. She does have Lyme disease, and so I wanted, I've learned a lot about Lyme disease and how it's affecting people, and so I think for some of the people she knows and friends she knows, we want to do a paranormal event that would be donated to help pay for medication for some of these families, because it's very costly. But you all want to meet her because she's amazing. When I come out there and come see you guys, she'll be with me when I'm mapping out the tours there. So she'll be at the one at Octagon Hall. I think she's also doing one with me in York, Nebraska, which is quite a ways away. But we also have the Simpson County Jail coming up, and that is, I think that's the first weekend of August. I don't know. You have to follow my Eventbrite, and you'll just get emails. My Eventbrite has grown quite a bit in the last few months, and I'm so thankful for that, because people actually want annoying emails from me that I don't even know I'm sending. It just does it.
I get it. Well, Eventbrite has just flat kicked my butt. That's all I can say. I mean, we tried to put all the private investigations that we have at Fort Duffield on Eventbrite. And the way Eventbrite is set up, every event has to be typed in individually. You can't copy and paste anything.
Right.
So if you've got 200 dates to put on a calendar, you've got to type everything in 200 times.
They're
identical.
I'm going to show you, because there is a thing to repeat an event. And it'll just redo the whole thing for you.
We're going to start using extreme ticketing through the Get Haunted network.
Yeah.
So we actually been talking to them.
I've been offering people, like, if you want to like avoid the fees, I tack on because Eventbrite started tacking on a lot of fees, and so I add like $3 to cover those fees, and then you pay me through like Venmo or PayPal or Cash App or whatever. So I kind of put that out there too. Some people have taken me up on that offer, but like anywhere I can cut costs for people to come to one of these, like, the happier that I am. I hate that. I hate they're like, because they used to be where they would just have like regular ticketing fees, like, when you buy from Ticketmaster, and then they tacked on more fees to the buyer, but then they also started tacking on extra fees to me. So now if you do an event over 25 tickets, you pay $10 for every event. And I'm like, they're making so much money off of people. And I'm like, why do they keep upping it and upping it? And I'm like, this is not even like, I could understand like a few cents here and there, but $10 like out of nowhere, that's just kind of insane. So
Well, the Get Haunted Network, Rob and Sarah have started this thing called Extreme Ticketing, and we've been talking to them about it, and they're taking new clients. So it supposedly saves more money than the Eventbrite, and it runs along the same lines of Eventbrite. So I think
It's got the same basic format as Eventbrite. And
maybe I'll get in touch with them and see what they say. And it's hard switching though, because I've spent a couple of years now building up the following on Eventbrite, and I'm like, if you move, you lose, and then you're starting over, and that's, like, am I at a point to do that? Probably not.
That's true.
Yeah, we're fortunate we don't have any big followings.
Yeah, nobody knows who we are. So
I don't even know how I ended up on this show. I was just like,
I mean,
who are these people and why are they?
There are worse shows out there, Christy.
Oh, there are not.
There are worse shows out there. I promise you.
It would be. I think of friends as people who say, "Be careful" or "Look out." Did you do that? No, you did not.
I did not know until it was too late. It was too late.
I'm glad your electricity stayed on.
Hey.
Because somebody wasn't at my house. She wasn't even at her house, though. So, no. I'm just starting to think y'all are just full of excuses.
But
they started the show. Our good friend. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the one we left twisting in the wind.
I don't think I'm in Kansas anymore.
Right.
I hate Kansas, but whatever. If you want to get pulled over for no reason, go to Kansas.
Yeah, it happens. It does.
They're bored.
I did. I've told them that. I would do events in Kansas City and drive back from Kansas City to Wymore, Nebraska. So it's like a 3-hour drive, and I would be going back, and I'd be coming home at like 3 a.m. And every freaking night, the same cop would pull me over. And I was finally like, "What is your deal?" I was like, "If you pull me over one more time, like, this is harassment. You know where I'm coming from. You know where I'm going. You know why I'm doing it. I'm not speeding. My brights are not on." Finally, he quit pulling me over. But I'm like, geez.
They're bored.
They are. They're bored.
I'll tell you, though, Salina, Kansas, the temple in Salina, Kansas. I don't know if you've ever been there.
I have been there.
That is an awesome location.
I was there with Mustafa, actually.
What's that?
I was there with Mustafa.
We were too. Yeah.
Yeah.
When were you guys there with him?
What was that? September
Fear Fest, September 2021.
2021, yeah.
I was there for one of Ray's events. I think Greg was actually there too.
Yeah, that was about
2 or 3 months after.
2 or 3 months after the Fear Fest. Mustafa, the first time Mustafa was there was for the Fear Fest. And funny story about that. I mean, we just got a couple minutes before we got to go, but I got to tell you this story because most folks on here know Mustafa and know that he's hilarious and just a lot of fun to be around. We were upstairs. We were in the pink room.
I thought you were talking about the car.
Well, no.
That's a whole other story.
That's a whole other story. If you're familiar with the temple, there's the pink room where they have the ladies, that's the Eastern Star or whatever it is. And then there's a blue room where the Masonic meetings are held. Well, we were back in the pink room and we were walking toward the Masonic room. And I start hearing, "Alas, poor Horatio," or "Poor Yari. I knew him, Horatio." And I'm like, what the hell? We come around the corner. Mustafa's in there by himself with an EDI meter sitting on the podium there. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He said, "Dude, I don't know. Something, spirit moved me, whatever. Something just told me that I need to do some Shakespeare in here. Watch the EDI. It's going off. It's reacting." I'm like, okay. But I mean, he's standing there in the middle of the room by himself reciting Shakespeare.
That's awesome. He cracks me up. I love Mustafa.
He's a trip.
Yeah, he was here filming when Haunted Discoveries was here about, a month ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We got Mustafa for like 3 or 4 days in a row.
Yeah, we got a good.
I'm just curious, how does he even manage that? Because the guy is not serious for any amount of time at all.
I mean, when it's business time, He's a different person. You know what I mean? But as soon as the camera's off, he's back to, he's 1,000 miles an hour and bouncing around like I don't know, like a Tasmanian devil or something.
I don't know that I'd like serious Mustafa.
It's weird.
It
really
probably is super weird, like super weird. I actually haven't seen him. Gosh, it's been probably like a year now. I was supposed to go to the Hanover Tavern, which I don't know if he went this year, but he was there the year before. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just funny because it just cracks me up sometimes, the Wraith Chasers especially, because they'll just show up somewhere and they're like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Surprise!" It's like, where are they going to run into me next? It's worked out for them a couple of times where they've had events, and I think they just weren't sure how it was, because some people don't run them very good, and so they'll show up and they're so happy to see me. They're like, "Oh, thank God, somebody who's here and knows what they're doing and can help out and whatever." So
right.
I've been useful a couple times. Not
I get it. So. I get it.
Yeah, Ernie thinks he knows how to run events. That's only because he's got somebody behind the scenes that are telling him what to do.
Isn't that why men get
married? Who would that be, Denise?
Could you do it without me?
Well, that's not what the question was.
Could you do it without me?
Probably a little, sort of. Anyway.
At least he can't lie.
We just got 3 minutes to go. So I got to tell you guys a little bit about what's coming up for the fort. Aside from Christie's event, which is coming up in August, the next planned event at the fort is going to be June 1st. It's going to be Flumery Promotions event. They're going to have the Connor sisters. They're going to have Squatch Man. Denise and I will be there. It's going to be a cookout, campfire, stories around the fire, investigation. It's going to be a good time. Tickets are on sale now. You can go to Flumery Promotions site to get your tickets for that. We don't have another event planned yet at the fort,
but there will be one.
We are planning to come up with another one here in July. We've had a lot of people around here asking about them, and we're going to try to fit in a time in July. Our schedule right now is getting, I'd love to go to the Winchester House, Steve. Love to go to the Winchester House.
I don't know when we're ever going to make it.
I don't know when we're going to make it. We can't get too far from home base here because we got so much going on around here. But was that a noise?
No.
Okay. I thought I heard a noise. Anyway, we're going to try to set something up in July. I did not. See, I try to keep everything above board, folks. And then
everybody was thinking it. She just said it.
Just say what everybody's thinking. See, that's just.
Why are you? I'm going to take you off screen. I'm going to ban her. But anyway. Now we're going to try to fit something in here real soon for the fort. Another one of our spirit squatches and stories around the camp.
When do you put on the tickets? When do the tickets go on sale for your event up there?
So they're already up right now, but I didn't push them because I wanted to put together the flashlight tours first. But now I'm probably just going to do it. I'm going to modify the banners. A little birdie told me they're like, basically every time I post a banner without a description of who I am, they're like, "Oh, there's another banner with no description of who you are." So I'm like, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm trying
I can make a banner if you want for $100.
Lantern tours August 16th in West Point, and then Christie Ayers and Tim Comer on the 17th up at Fort Duffield.
Yeah,
it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
And we'll probably be around for both of those. You know?
We'll be there. We have to.
Yeah, we'll be definitely at the fort.
We'll definitely be at the fort. We might walk along with you guys on the lantern.
We might even on your lantern tour, if you need a place to come in and investigate, we might actually be able to open our house up for that. I think Christy froze.
She's froze.
I got to screenshot.
Everybody screenshot that look of Christy's. Screenshot it, folks. Get a picture.
I'll do it.
There we go.
Oh,
now you're froze. What is happening here? Hold on.
We're back. You're back. We're back. Everybody's back.
Oh my goodness.
She's delayed.
Am I back?
You're back.
You're back, but you're delayed. Your mouth ain't moving with your words.
You're like
it's
like watching a Japanese movie. It's like a Godzilla movie. Yeah. There's Richie B.
Richie,
oh,
Richie,
he
Richie.
comes in with 30 seconds left in the show. Thanks for joining us, Richie.
Yeah, we actually got to get ready to go because there's a replay.
Unturned Pages is a replay tonight, folks.
So,
On the Get Haunted Network, you can switch over now and you can watch a replay of Unturned Pages. We're gonna probably go another couple of minutes here so we can say a proper goodbye to our guest. But
as I was saying before we all froze, when you do your lantern tours, he says, I have 83 kids.
I get that.
When you're doing your lantern tours here in West Point, we might be willing to open our house up to let people do a little walkthrough, have a little tour of the Ditto House, and maybe a little investigation if they're interested, if you'd like us to do that.
That would be awesome. We'll talk about it when I'm there at the end of the month.
All right. We won't charge you too
much.
What?
How far is the cemetery from you? Is it like on like the walking path or no?
The whole town you can walk in 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, the cemetery is right around the corner. I mean, when you come to do, set your stuff up, we'll take you and walk you and
yeah, the cemetery is literally 300 yards that way.
That's what I thought I had remembered, but I just wanted to make sure. So, and then once I do that, I'll put all the history together. And it's kind of crazy because the ones that I do on Seven Sisters Road, which Seven Sisters Road has been like all over everywhere, I uncovered some really dark stuff that nobody knew about. And I was like, cool. So I'm hoping I'll be able to do that there.
Well,
cool.
We take anything anybody finds.
Just for research purposes, you might try to get in touch with Craig Owens if you know who he is. If you don't know who he is, he's part of the Haunted Discoveries cast. When they came here to film, he's their historian.
He's their historian that uncovered a bunch of stuff, even about our house.
Perfect.
And he's done a lot of research on West Point. So
I feel like he's on my friends list, so I will check. If not, I'll just be like, help me.
Yeah, get with me and I can get you in touch with him.
That works.
But anyway, we're looking forward to seeing you again. I can't wait to see you. You're coming to do some scouting, so we'll see you then. And you can buy us a steak, and I'll let you.
Vampire steak.
What's a vampire steak?
Raw.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. And anyway,
it's when you become the raw meat one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll let you go so you can get to driving.
Yes.
But if you want to stick around here for just a couple minutes after we go off air, we'll tie up some loose ends. But anyway,
sounds
good. We appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Like I say, you can switch over and catch a replay of Unturned Pages here on the Get Haunted Network. Greg is having some issues with Facebook right now, so I'm not sure when he'll be back on. He's trying to get all that squared away. But just follow the Get Haunted Network. Trevor does a great job of letting everyone know every day what's coming on.
Courtney does. Courtney's on an investigation right
now. Jen's in here filling in for Courtney and doing a bang-up job because I'm sure she's shared this out to 975 other pages and groups. But anyway, we love y'all. We appreciate everybody tuning in. And
love you too, Richie.
We'll see you next week. We love all y'all. Y'all take care.
And we're ending the stream.